Mindful Life Practice community.
All right, so let's start our practice down in a child's pose. So you're going to come onto your knees and rest your hips on your heels, and then walk your hands forward and rest your forehead. I was thinking the other night about how I used to not believe in chakras. Like I used to just kind of laugh when my yoga teacher trainer would talk about them, like way back in 2014. And how funny is it that I now know all of these energy centers like the back of my hand, and I've actually structured I'm getting prepared to launch my yoga teacher training, and I've actually structured it around the chakras and structured my book around the chakras. And it's funny how we just should be open-minded to change, open-minded to new ideas, open-minded to, the idea that there might be alternative opinions or alternative perspective or things that you don't believe in, but if you open your mind to them, maybe your heart can change and shift. Now, as you're resting here in this child's pose, I just want you to bring your attention towards your brain and your spinal cord. And as you breathe, see if you can almost follow the breath through the spine. Coming all the way up on the inhale and all the way down on the exhale. And now just focus on your tailbone. Muladhara is the first chakra. And it's the support system for all the other chakras, and it anchors us to our world. And its energetic calling is to help us feel more grounded and stable. So our intention throughout today's practice is just to bring these chakras into balance. So you might say the affirmations here, like, I am safe. I'm home. I have enough. Or I am anchored and connected to this earth. Just playing a little bit of music. If you can't hear me at any point, please let me know. For the last few breaths in this pose, just being held by the earth. Just think about what gives me stability. What helps me remain grounded? Nice. Take one more breath in your child's pose. Okay, take one more breath. And then you're gonna come all the way up into a table. Nice. And then for your next pose, I think all of you guys are regulars with me, so you kind of know these two options. You can either come onto your back and do a thread the needle. I'll show you quickly. Or you can come into your full pigeon, okay? So you choose. We're gonna start with the right leg. Just bringing your right knee across the width of the mat, wiggling the left knee back. Good. And then coming onto your elbows. And we are going to be here for 3 minutes. So my teacher, Rolf, he talks about the theory of almost like a theory of development based on the chakras. And if your needs are not met as a child in one kind of development of growth, then you might stay sort of stuck in those childhood wounds. And so you start with getting grounded, getting rooted, having feelings of safety. And then you move upwards to the sacrum, which is where you establish feelings of creativity, feelings of enjoyment. Getting into a state of flow. And if our needs are not met in this chakra, then we might not be able to go with the flow of life. We constantly feel like things are stacked against us. We constantly feel like things are going wrong. This chakra is the home to our reactions to life. And these actions and reactions sometimes have a permanent home in our body if we're not able to let them go. Just take a few more breaths. Good. And then you're going to come all the way up, back into a table. And we're going to take that pigeon pose on the opposite side. So laying your left shin across the width of the mat, taking your right knee back, and then coming onto the elbows. Your affirmations here might be, I have healthy boundaries. I love and I enjoy my body without judging it. I move with ease. I'm able to go with the flow. I'm able to give and receive pleasure. Just take a few more breaths. And then we're going to come up and then step your left knee back. And if you want to move through some cat cows, just kind of opening up through the spine, go for it. The next pose that we're going to come into, which is going to tap into the third chakra, the core. We're going to come down into a sphinx. So coming down onto your elbows. If you want to bring a little pillow, oops, I kind of feel like a pillow underneath my ribs today. That's an option. And then just close your eyes, settle your gaze. So this is the solar plexus. And this is where our self-worth, our self-esteem, our confidence, our determination, that's where all of this comes from. When this chakra is in alignment, we feel good about our place in the world. We can align with our inner power. So some affirmations might be, I believe in myself. I deserve to be seen and heard. I deserve happiness. I have the courage to stand up for myself. Maybe you take your hands a little wider and then push into the palms to kind of lift your heart up. This is seal. Maybe you think about, how can I walk through life with more confidence, more belief in myself? Take another breath. And then just make your way down, coming onto your elbows. And just rest your head for a moment. Allowing your spine to realign. Taking deep breaths. Now our heart chakra, it's where our outer world and our inner world converges. So we're going to take another deep heart opener. We're going to come up. Oh, my phone is dying. First, I shared my Spotify, then my screen is dying. So you're going to come up onto your knees. Luckily, I know exactly where my phone charger is because I haven't left my bedroom for this entire day. And I'm going to give you an option if you have blocks and you want to open your shoulders as well. You can do this pose on the blocks. So we're going to take melting heart, but if you want to get into your shoulders as well, you can. Land your elbows onto the blocks and then just start to kind of lower your head onto the mat and push your palms together over the back of your head. So if this variation is not suitable for you, you can also do it without the blocks, just be flat on the mat. So this is the bridge where the inner and the outer worlds meet. Passion and joy and forgiveness are qualities of a balanced fourth chakra. And this chakra is all about learning to love and accept ourselves. Right? All of us in life have been through some form of trauma. We've all been through some form of rejection. We've all experienced some kind of loss. And through all of that, that's where our energy becomes blocked. When we open our hearts, it's when we learn how to forgive ourselves, forgive others. Give and receive joy and love. Love ourselves without conditions. Recognize that we deserve to be loved. So you might say here, I am loved. I am worthy of love. Stay in this back bend for a few more breaths. And then you're going to come all the way up. Nice. Just lifting all the way up off those blocks. You can sit back on your heels for a moment. I think everyone has some kind of yoga block, right? Do we all have some kind of yoga block? Yeah, sweet. Okay. So we're going to take our block and we're going to do a supported fish. So this is going to open through our throat, which is the fifth chakra, the throat chakra. So you're going to take your block and just place it underneath your shoulder blades. The most common mistake I see is people placing their block underneath their low back in this pose. So you want it to be underneath the shoulder blades. You can even lie it down on the mat. And then basically you're just going to lower the back of your head, and this is going to open through your throat. And then you can rest the soles of the feet together. You can extend the legs. Choosing a variation that works for you. So the throat chakra is about authenticity. It's about speaking our authentic truth. And when I look through my life, I can see how being held back from my authenticity at times in my life that really held me back from my potential, feeling like I couldn't share my truth, feeling like I couldn't talk about my truth, feeling like I would be judged for it. I think when we feel like we have to hide ourselves or belittle ourselves or keep things secret, it holds us back from stepping into our power. Most liberating thing for me has been starting to speak my truth. So maybe thinking here, in what ways am I silencing myself? In what ways am I holding myself back? Take another breath. And then we're just gonna lift our way, so roll our way off this block. And while we do have the block handy, I want you to just come back down and place the block at the edge of the base of your spine and just rock and roll until you find the sweet spot. This is the vagus nerve. We hold our tension. In the vagus nerve. So just rock and roll just for a few more breaths. And then you can release this block. Lay your back body down for a breath. And then can you make your way up to seated again? We're gonna merge in our third eye with a little bit of footwork as well. So if you would like to, you're gonna tuck your toes and sit your bottom onto your heels. I'm sorry that my head is cut off. There. Okay, you're tucking your toes, sitting your back onto your heels. It's still somewhat cut off, isn't it? And then we're gonna do a shoulder opening. Okay, I give up. Just got my head slightly cut off. We're gonna do some shoulder openings. We're gonna open our arms and then cross the right elbow underneath the left. Weave our arms together so we're in eagle. And then see if you can connect your thumbs to your third eye. So there's your third eye connection. Your thumbs are gonna tap into the space between your eyebrows. I'm just moving back so you can see me. And if this does not work with your toes tucked, feel free to untuck them. And if this doesn't work with your arms wrapped around, feel free to unwrap them. Something I've been working on is trusting my intuition. You know, this guy had been really bugging me about doing a free sample class for his staff. And this is this thing that kills me in the yoga profession. It's, why are people asking us to work for free? I don't get it. And I had been ignoring this guy's messages because from my experience, these events really bring no one. And they end up just being free labor for yoga teachers. He ended up getting me on the phone and convincing me to do this free meditation today. And it was the one I was talking about earlier where no one turned on their camera and 2 people showed up. He told me that there would be hundreds of people, 2 people came. And I'm like, God damn it, I have my intuition. And I even said this to him in message. I said to him, it's, it's free labor. It's not really worth my time. And yet this guy somehow kind of sweet talked me into doing it. And I think our intuition is there for a reason, right? Our gut knows. And something I have been working on this year is trusting that gut. Let's take one more breath. And then you're going to unwind the arms. Nice work. And then we'll cross the other way. So the third eye is all about trusting that intuition. And in what ways do you need to trust intuition in your life right now? And it could be leaving that relationship. It could be leaving that job. It could be saying no despite someone really wanting you to say yes. Just say no. Just gonna be here for 2 more minutes. Just 10, 20 more breaths. Remember that you are the guru. Om Namo Guru Dev. I honor the divine teacher that resides within each of us. We all have that divine teacher, and we need to trust it. We need to believe in it. Take 5 more breaths. Good, and then just unwind. Nice work, lift up and paddle it out. Nice, good work. And then you're gonna come onto your bottom again, and we'll do one last pose to represent our crown chakra. We're gonna do just legs up the wall. So you can scoot your way over to a furniture or to a wall and lower your body down and lift your heels. And then just rest. So the crown chakra is accessed when all the rest of the chakras are in balance. And it's not one chakra that you can in particular open. It happens on its own when the rest of the chakras are balanced and attended to and cared for. So allow the blood flow to go to the brain. Maybe think about here, are there any parts of me in particular that need some loving care? Is there anything I need to focus on in my life? Is it my roots being grounded? Is it my hips being creative? Is it my core being strong? Is it my heart being loving? Is it my throat being authentic, speaking up for myself? Or is it my third eye being intuitive and trusting my intuition? Once all these parts of the body are balanced and in line, that's when the connection with yourself and with the universe opens up. Now, if you want to stay in your legs up the wall for the last few minutes, go ahead. If you want to come into a shavasana, or a reclined butterfly, go for it. Knowing that I'm going to bring you back in a few minutes when the time is up.
You were never more perfect than you are right now. This moment right now, it's all that there is. You could not be more perfect. You could not be more you. Accept this moment and embrace this moment. Trust that you are loved. Trust that you are never, ever alone. Trust that there is no one else out there just like you. Take a big breath in and breathe in all the love that the universe has to offer you. And then just exhale to let it go. Let it go. If you're still in your legs up the wall, or if you're on your spine, you're going to wiggle and wobble your toes and your fingertips and stretch your way out of it. Coming into a tight little hug and squeeze. And eventually making your way up to a seated shape. Taking the palms at the heart center. And we close with an intention. It's an ancient intention, but it is the original intention. Passed from heart to heart through thousands of years. And it's that our yoga practice remains steady and our efforts continuous, and our yoga serves all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe and happy and healthy and free. And may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. We're going to finish with an Om sound. We'll breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in to make the Om. So take a breath in. Take a breath out. Take a breath in. Thank you so much for sharing the space and the practice. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste.
guys for joining.